Tell us a bit about yourself and your journey as a feminist.
Okay, so I think that's quite like a loaded question probably for most feminists. Yeah, especially I think in my case, as weird as this is going to sound, I would have say I've considered myself to be a feminist from like basically as soon as I understood the concept. So even as a child, and certainly as like a young teenager, I would have called myself a feminist. I'm not entirely sure where that came from exactly, but I guess I just suppose at certain points in my childhood, I was like, exposed to the concept of feminism, and I knew just from reading that I agreed with it. I also have just never seen anything that made me think that women weren't, the equal to men. But of course, like, back then, being a feminist just meant I agreed with the ideals. And, it was only obviously as I got older into adulthood that, I started to become more active around feminism. So I've also worked around, human rights in general as well, and equality. So I would have done like volunteering around that, when I was a student and like after my years as a student. But I suppose the first role I had, where I was working for an organisation with a feminist ethos was when I joined WRDA. So I would say that job just really broadened my understanding of what, feminism meant. Which was really great, and it helped me connect with other feminists, which actually was a really positive part of the job, because I think when I was growing up, I would say, although I feel like a lot of my friends would have made feminist choices and would have had opinions that were, tied in with feminism, I would say most of my friends would not have called themselves a feminist. So it was just so refreshing to suddenly be connected with loads of people who had actually were not afraid to use the word, or whatever else was holding up, other people from saying it. So yeah, feminism is like a huge part of who I am now. I just think that, like, so when you're born, there are various factors that might make your life a bit harder, and unfortunately I still think one of them is if you're born female, just in terms even of how people in like Northern Ireland will treat you, and it's very disappointing. I mean, in some ways I've been very lucky, but in other ways I would say definitely misogyny has impacted my life, on occasion with how obviously men in particular have treated me. So it's just very important to me that we all keep working to make, Northern Ireland fairer for women, safer for women as well. I think that's hugely important. Yeah, I think I will just always continue to consider myself to be a feminist, and but I hope one day it's not as important as it is now to be a feminist. Like, I hope things do get better and do get more equal. Although, like I said, I will always stay a feminist throughout my life.